Chapter 5. The Unity of Heaven and Earth. One thing that indigenous peoples of the world have taught me is that before any important ceremony, one must connect in love with Mother Earth and then with Father Sky, and through this experience ultimately with Great Spirit or God. It is no different when one is about to enter the sacred space of the heart. Otherwise, this space will remain elusive. I had originally learned what I'm about to tell you in 1981 from one of my Taos Pueblo mentors, Jimmy Reyna, and knew it in a very simple and unrefined manner. But here enters one of the great spiritual teachers of the Kriya Yoga traditions. Speaking in elegant terms, I was about to go on stage during an event called The Solar Heart on Jekyll Island, Georgia, in about 1994. Several spiritual teachers were taking turns to lead the audience into a higher and higher unity with Spirit. I was to be next. I was behind the stage in a small back room, sitting before a meditation altar where someone had placed a single lit candle and a set of photographs from the Self-Realization Fellowship. There were pictures of Krishna, Jesus, Babaji, Lahiri Maharshi, Sri Yukswar, and Yogananda. I knew that before I had to actually go on stage, someone would come and get me, and I already knew what I was going to speak about, so there was nothing left to do but to center. For me, there is no better way to do this than to enter into meditation. I acknowledge the teachers for the greatness they are, and close my eyes to begin meditating. Slowly, the world around me began to fade into the distance, and as the energy began to increase, I had a vision. This single moment altered the course of that evening, with the audience, and later the course of almost everything in my spiritual world. In a short time, Sri Yukswar appeared to me with this noble expression on his face. Though I have had a close relationship with Yogananda, Sri Yukswar disciple, I have never really thought about Sri Yukswar himself, but there he was. The Unity Breath. Sri Yukswar went directly to the point, as I will now. He told me that in India, no one would even consider approaching the divine without a certain state of mind and heart, and he gave me very specific instructions on exactly how to consciously connect to the divine and finally with God. Here is what he told me. You can be anywhere, but for me, I use an altar with a single candle to focus my mental attention. I feel and know the presence of my teachers, and we all began to breathe together as one. Unify with the Divine Mother. Let your attention shift to a place on earth that you feel is the most beautiful place in the world. It could be anywhere. A mountain scene with trees, lakes and rivers, or an arid, sandy desert with almost no life. Whatever you perceive as beautiful, see as much detail as you can. For example, if your place is a mountain scene, see the mountains and the white billowing clouds. See and sense the forest and the trees moving with the wind. See the animals, the deer and elk, little rabbits and squirrels. Look down and see the clear water of the rivers. Begin to feel love for this place and for all of nature. Continue to grow into this space of love with nature until your heart is beating with the warmth of your love. When the time feels right, send your love to the center of the earth, using your intention so that Mother Earth can directly feel the love you have for her. You can place your love into a small sphere to contain it, and send it to the mother if you wish. But it is your intention that is so important. Then wait, as a child. Wait until Mother Earth sends her love back to you and you can feel it. You are her child, and I know she loves you. As your mother's love enters your body, open completely, allowing this love to move anywhere throughout your body. Let it enter all of your cells. Let it move throughout your light body. Let it move wherever it wishes to move. Feel this beautiful love your mother has surrounded you with, and remain in this union with Mother Earth until it feels complete. Unify with the Divine Father. At the right moment, which only you can know, without breaking the love union with your mother, look to your Father, to your Heavenly Father. Look to the rest of creation beyond the earth. Place your attention on a night sky. See the Milky Way as it meanders across the heavens. Watch the planets and the moons swirl around you and the earth. Feel the sun hidden beneath the earth. Realize the incredible depth of space. Feel the love you have for the Father. For the Divine Father is the spirit of all creation, except the Divine Mother. And when this love becomes so great that it just can't stay inside you any longer, let it move into the heavens with your intention. Again, you can send your love into the heavens inside a small sphere if you wish. Sri Yukswar says to place your love in a small sphere, and with your intention send it into the heavens. He says to send it to the unity consciousness grid around the earth. If you don't know what this grid is, then don't worry. Just do as most of the indigenous peoples of the world do. Send your love to the sun. Like the grids, the sun is connected to all the other suns or stars, and eventually to all life everywhere. Some people, such as the Hopi of the southwest of the United States, send their love to the great central sun, which is another concept that not everyone has, but that is equally valid. Choose one, which one doesn't matter. The intent is for your love to reach all life everywhere. Sri Yukswar continued, once your love has been sent into the heavens to the Divine Father, again you wait. You wait for the Father to send his love back to you. And of course, he will always do so. You are his child forever, and the Divine Father will always, always love you. And just like the mother's love, when you feel the love of the Divine Father enter your being, let it move anywhere it wants to. It is your Father's love, and it is pure. The Holy Trinity is alive. At this moment, something that rarely happens is manifesting. The Holy Trinity is alive on earth. The Divine Mother and the Divine Father are joined with you in pure love, and you, the Divine Child, complete the triangle. According to Sri Yukswar, it is only in this particular state of consciousness that God can be known directly. And so the final step in this meditation is to become aware of the presence of God all around you and within you. For this part of the meditation, Sri Yukswar originally gave me a very complex way of being aware of God. But after speaking with many elders of various tribes around the world, I feel we can simplify the way to reach the final state of consciousness. It really is simple. Once you are in the Holy Trinity, you can achieve this experience by simply opening your heart to the presence of God, for some reason that only God knows. In the Holy Trinity state, the presence of God is easily perceivable. Sri Yukswar gave me the name of this meditation, the Unity Breath. God is always everywhere, but humans do not always perceive God. The Unity Breath meditation takes you directly, consciously into God's presence. For some, this state of consciousness is all that is necessary to complete all cycles created by life. Or in another way of saying it, it is the doorway to approach all the sacred ceremonies of life, such as our birth into this world, sacred marriage, and even death. According to the Native Americans, even the ceremonies of planting and harvesting crops require this particular connection to Great Spirit for the crops to grow and be healthy. The natural way is to co-create with God, or Great Spirit, to assist in the cycles of nature to bring balance to life. According to the Bible, we are the keepers of the garden, or nature, as described in the story of Adam and Eve. And in this modern time we still are, but we have forgotten our purpose. Without this inner connection with God, we are separate and lost. Hence this meditation of Sri Yukswar is the opening to remember God and to enter and remember the sacred space of the heart. Going on stage. At this point, Sri Yukswar became very stern. He looked me straight in the eyes and said, "Drunvalo, I want you to go out on the stage today and teach the audience this meditation I just taught you." He looked at me like he really meant it, and I thought I'd better not disobey him. Then he bowed and disappeared. I remember hearing the knock on the door that told me that it was my turn. I remember getting up confused. I didn't know what to do. I'd had a plan as to what I was going to do and say, but this seemed to override everything. I told the stagehand that I would come along in just 1 minute, closed the door, and quickly brought in the angels. They advised me to do as told by Sri Yukswar, that eventually I would understand. And so I did, and so eventually I did understand. Once I was out in front of the audience, I told them what had just happened, and that we were about to enter into a meditational state that Sri Yukswar had strongly suggested we all experience. I led the audience through the steps while I followed my own words. Then there was silence and bliss. A long time later, I was pulled out of the meditation by a young man tugging at my sleeve and telling me that we should be ready to go to lunch in 10 minutes. Everyone in the room, except those watching over the group, was deep in meditation. I asked people to slowly return, but for the first time in my life, I found many in the audience who were so deep into the meditation that they couldn't or didn't want to come out of it. After several attempts to retrieve everybody, there was still about 30 people who just did not want to return. We sent people to them individually to get them out of their meditation, and all of them eventually did come out, except one young man who we thought was going to have to be taken to hospital. After maybe 20 more minutes, while everybody else was eating lunch, he finally opened his eyes. All I could think was, what happened? I'd had an experience that stayed with me beyond the meditation. I could still feel the love of my mother and father and the presence of God everywhere and in everything. It was delicious. It was beautiful. Over the years, I have learned to be careful with the unity breath meditation. Once one enters this state, one does not want to leave prematurely. It feels so good. So if you practice this meditation, leave ample time for yourself. Shut off the phones and do what is necessary to remain undisturbed with no time limit. Let the experience unfold like a summer flower. It is so simple. Now that you know the unity breath, always enter this state of consciousness first before you enter the sacred space of the heart. Otherwise, no matter how hard you try to find the sacred space, it will run from you, it will hide, leaving no trace. Once you have reached the level of consciousness achieved by the unity breath, You may find that it gets easier and easier until finally you are in this place all the time. This is the ideal according to all of my mentors who know of this meditation. I believe that the unity breath creates the vibration within you that allows you to find the Holy Grail, the sacred space of the heart, the place where God originally created all that is. It is so simple. What you have always been looking for is right inside your own heart.